hope you're all comfy in your pajamas. If not, you should click pause right now and go put on your pajamas because you are missing out on some serious fun.
You are. And take a picture of you in your pajamas, and we'll see who has the best pajamas. I think Megan and I win. Look, mine's got a tail.
Mine does not, but I have antlers.
She's got antlers.
And hashtag Ingomar Unites, because we are uniting together. Even though we can't be together in person, we're together online and in our jammies.
All right, are you guys ready for some Elevate fun?
Whoop whoop! We're gonna play a game of Pictionary. I'm gonna draw. We can see if Miss Danielle can figure out what I'm gonna draw.
I'm not good at that. Actually, I'm worse at drawing though.
I'm not good at drawing or guessing, so let us know what you think in the comments below.
When we're done drawing, put in the comments what you think it actually looks like.
Yes, do that. All right.
I'm ready. I'm gonna win. Competition, guys.
Okay.
She can go.
I'm a little nervous, okay? All of my drawing skills are coming out now.
She totally just put her nose up to the board like she was gonna head it, like she was a real moose.
Shh, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready.
A box, a TV, the Elevate TV, a sign, a flag, a golf course, mini golf. Oh, a mailbox.
A mailbox! Can you even see that?
Oh, yep, they can see it. Ooh, I put my hand in front of it. There we go.
It was a mailbox.
Goodness. It's actually really, I mean, I said actually like you're a terrible drawer. I don't know that about you.
I'm feeling offended already.
It's a very good drawing. I just got very stuck on this part and was not paying attention at all to what was going on over here.
It kind of looks like a boat and an anchor.
I was thinking, you know, like mini golf, because the little flag is, I don't know.
Oh, it does. Oh, we could make it a hole.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that the flag would be where the hole was, but you know, that's cool too.
Who knows?
I guess it's my turn. Here, wait, I got it.
Ooh, fancy eraser. Danielle's a fancy human. I use napkins.
What can I say? Us dinosaurs are really evolved.
I'll put it in my moose pocket.
Okay, my turn to draw.
I'm ready.
It's gonna be terrible. I'll try black so you guys can see it maybe a little bit better. Here we go. All right.
A circle, a half circle, a moon, a vase, a basket, a deflated basketball, a kickball, a deflated hot air balloon, a pineapple, a cut pineapple, a pineapple wearing a hat.
Yes!
A pineapple wearing a hat! Oh, I'm so good at this game.
Worst drawer ever, guys.
I feel like this is real friendship because I guessed that. I hope you feel the same way.
Just sending her my brain waves. All right, we're gonna erase this and we're gonna get ready to worship. Are you guys ready to worship? We're gonna move the camera so it's gonna shake a little bit. Sorry. Shake, 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 shake. And boom. We're gonna make it so that you can hopefully see.
At least one of us.
Yes, and the words.
Maybe you'll see my arms, but not my head. I should probably take this off.
Only you can, only you can. You set me free from
dinosaur robot.
Alone in my sorrow and dead in my sin, lost without hope, no place to begin. Your love made a way to let mercy come in. When death was arrested and my life began, ash was redeemed, only beauty remains. My orphan heart was given a name. My mourning grew quiet, my feet rose to dance. When death was arrested and my life began.
Sing it out, guys.
So free, washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Released from my chains, I'm a prisoner no more. My shame was a ransom he faithfully bore. He canceled my debt and he called me his friend. When death was arrested and my life began. Oh, your grace so free washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Our Savior displayed on the criminal's cross. The darkness rejoiced as though heaven had lost. But then Jesus arose with our freedom in that's when death was arrested and my life began. So free, washes over me. You have made me new, now life begins with you. It's your endless love pouring down on us. You have made us new, now life begins with you. Come join the song yes, we're free, forever when death was arrested, my life began. Oh, we're free, forever we're free. Come join the song yes, we're free, forever when death was arrested, my life began. When death was arrested, my life began. When death was arrested, my life
Yay, worship so good.
That was my kick. I was told last week that I was a black belt for kicking down the things, the baskets. All right, we're gonna move you a little bit again. Sorry, sorry. Here we go. Boop. And boop. Okay. Megan's the sweetest. She totally brought everything to me. I do need this. Wait, turn it around. I almost tipped the whiteboard in case you're wondering what just happened.
It's gonna be okay. It's okay, guys. False alarm.
Ta-da! Oh, ooh, and then I kicked the whiteboard is what happened. I'm gonna take off my dinosaur hat because it gets really hot underneath the hood. Very hot. Okay. You can sit now. Hopefully you were standing for worship. You can now sit. And we're gonna do our lesson. So the first thing I wanna ask you guys is, we have this whiteboard and I wanna write down reasons in the top half of what people do to get in trouble, right? At home, at school, in the neighborhood, wherever. So I'm going to write down some things and then Megan's gonna tell me some things to write down. And I want you guys to talk to your parents or whoever's watching or put down in the comments things that happen that people do to get in trouble. All right, so I'm gonna write down the first one and do gossip.
Ooh. Yeah.
And lie.
Yeah. That's good. Steal.
Steal, yes.
Cheat, like cheating on a test, does that count?
Absolutely. Cheat.
What about like making fun of someone?
That's a good one. Making fun. But not like fun, the sad kind of fun. Sad face.
I have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
What about like picking your nose?
I mean, and this time, that could definitely get you in trouble. We can write it on there. Yeah. Picking nose. Sure, why not? Picking nose. I was gonna totally draw a nose instead of writing nose, but you've seen my drawing, so I'm gonna try and move this so you guys can see a little bit better. There's a glare from the window. Okay. Picking nose, sure. What about physically hurting someone, pushing someone, kicking someone? So we're gonna say physical hurt. This all smushed. All right, so we've got all of these things. If we missed something, put it down in the comments. I'm sure there are tons of things that people do to get in trouble. I get in trouble pretty frequently, and sometimes it's not for doing one of these things. So we've got gossiping, lying, stealing, cheating, making fun of someone, picking your nose, disgusting, and physically hurting someone, kicking them, pushing them. These are all great things, great things to write down for that question, not great things to do. Now, these are things to get in trouble, but what happens when people realize they're in trouble? So when you or somebody else does one of these things and they realize, darn it, I've been caught. So what happens then? Put those in there, talk about them. I'm gonna write a few down here. We're gonna put down, I'm gonna scooch to this side. I'm gonna say a cover up, right? Maybe saying that which goes with more lying. I talked about lying and more lying last week. More lying, right? So covering it up, lying it, denying it. We're gonna scooch down now. Denial. It's not just a river in Egypt. That's how cool I am. Lying about it, denying it. But then let's go to the positive side. How about confessing it? Or apologizing. This looks like really terrible handwriting because I'm trying to write fast. All right, so we've got the things that people do to get in trouble, and then we have the things that typically happen after you've been caught. Covering it up, denying it, lying about it, confessing, and apologizing. All of these things have to do with our story today. And we'll come back to this at the end. But I just want you to sit on this, think about it. All right, so our story today is about Jesus, which means it's in the New Testament, right? And this is actually a story that Jesus told. So lots of people came to see Jesus. We talked about this last week. We talked about it when we talked about Zacchaeus. People wanted to see what Jesus was going to do. They wanted to hear what Jesus was going to say. And so crowds gathered. And in this particular case, it was some religious leaders. If you heard that, that is actually, my dog is here and she sneezed. Sorry. It wasn't Megan. Megan doesn't sneeze like that. She sneezes like that. So, religious leaders were there. And religious leaders, they didn't really like Jesus because Jesus, he hung out with everybody. It didn't matter if you did all the right things or if you messed up and did wrong things to get yourself in trouble. Jesus hung out with you. Just like with Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus wasn't the greatest of person, right? He kind of stole people's money, but Jesus invited him down to have dinner with him. So the religious leaders didn't like this because in their minds, they were the ones who were trying the hardest to do all the rules correctly, to follow all the rules, and so they, in their minds, were the closest to God. But Jesus knew that this wasn't true, right? God and Jesus are for everybody, for everyone. So to tell them that, like, to help them understand that this is true, that Jesus is for everybody, he told them a story. Now, stories that Jesus told are called parables. And if you've had me when you were younger, you know that I like to call them shareable parables because Jesus shared his parables and because it's fun to say. Go ahead, say it right now. Shareable parable. Say it 3 times fast. Shareable parable, shareable parable, shareable parable. It's really fun to say. Anyway, so this parable in particular has to do with a dad and 2 sons, an older son and a younger son. So the younger son went up to his dad one day. This is all Jesus telling the story. Younger son went up to the dad one day and said, "Hey, Dad, I really like this farm that we live on." Ready? I'm going to give you a farm. Boom. Look how beautiful it is. They have cows. They have a little pond over here. Beautiful trees. It's a great place to live, right? Who wouldn't want to live there? And he said, "I know that we have this farm, but I think I want my share of the inheritance, your inheritance." Wow, I can't say that word. Which meant he wanted his half of his dad's money and things. This usually happened when the dad died, but nope, Mr. Rude young son decided, "I think I want mine now." And the people listening into the story were probably like, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe I don't know why I just said the accent. I can't believe that he just did that," right? So Jesus went on and he said, here's what the dad did. He gave him everything. What? The dad could have been like, no, bye-bye. Or he could have been like so angry that he kicked him out of the farmhouse. But instead, Jesus says that the dad said, "Okay, I'm brokenhearted that this is happening, but here, take the inheritance." So the son takes the inheritance, he packs up all of his things, and he leaves. Now, I picture the son, because it says that the son moved to a new town, a new city, and then he decided he was going to start spending all of that inheritance money. So I'm picturing, this is the wrong picture. I'm not picturing that picture. I'm picturing this picture. Ready? A beautiful like penthouse. He's got a nice view there, right? Some nice couches. He probably has like a walk-in closet and like a shower that has like sprays coming everywhere at him. This is his life. He's living it up. Got it? I'm going to actually take this down and put it in front of me so that you can see it better. He's living it up here. He's buying all these fancy clothes. He's buying all this fancy food. Maybe he has a cook. You know, the Bible doesn't really say that he has a cook and all this stuff, but it does say that he spent all of his money on things, and I mean all of his money, because very soon, all the money was gone. Now, the fancy city that he was living in was actually going through a famine, which means they were low on food. Food was not something you would easily come by, especially if you have no money anymore. So, no money, can't pay to stay in fancy place anymore and doesn't have money for food, which means youngest son's got to pack it up and decides to go work at a pig farm. Oh, look how cute they are, just how squishy is those. Pigs are they can be super cute, right? There's an adorable picture of a pig or 3 pigs. But working on a pig farm, probably not ideal job for somebody who wants to be super fancy and take all the inheritance, right? It's got mud and grossness and just a lot of work, which the youngest son might not have been used to. So he's working out on this farm, and it turns out that he's working there and they're paying him very, very little, and they're not feeding him. And Jesus says in his story, this is how bad it is. Jesus says that the young son turned and was like, maybe I'll just eat the pig's slop. I don't know if you guys know anything about pigs, but typically slop means leftovers. So whatever is left over, all mixed into a giant soup, put into a trough. That's what this guy wants to eat. That's how desperate he is. Ugh, gross, so gross. And then Jesus says he thought about his father. And he thought about how his father treated his servants. His father fed his servants. His father's servants had a place to live. When he worked at the farm, at the pig farm, no place to live. They didn't give him a place to live. So he probably slept with the pigs, I would imagine. So the son decided he was going to get his stuff together, take a deep breath, and he was going to put together a speech in his head. I'm going to get my Bible here real quick. It's really far away, so pay attention. Pay attention. All right, I'm here. Whoop, whoop. So we're in the book of Luke, chapter 15. And the son is thinking about things, and he's like, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'll get up, I'll go back to my father, and I will say to him, Father, Father, I have sinned against heaven, and I have sinned against you. I am no longer fit to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So he gets his speech together, and he packs up all of his things again, what little he has, and he starts walking back to the farmhouse. This is how I imagine it. You ready? You know, like when you know you did something wrong and you have to admit it, and you like have to practice your speech, and you have to like muster up the courage to actually admit that you just did something wrong. So I just picture him walking down the hill going, okay, I'm going to start off, I'm going to look the Father in the eyes, and I'm going to be like, Father, no, that doesn't work. Maybe I'll just be like, no, I can't be excited because I did something wrong, right? I just pictured this happening in his head as he's walking, but this is what happened. As he was walking, his father looked up from the farmhouse and saw him in the far distance. I'm pretty sure at this point of the story, when Jesus was telling it, everybody was like leaning in. They were like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? What is his father going to do? I bet you his father's going to be like, in your face! I told you you weren't going to do well. Or like maybe he'll like say, see you later, I don't want to talk to you. Or maybe he'll just walk inside. The people were like on the edge of their seats. So, this is what Jesus says happens. Something that nobody expected. Jesus said that the Father looked at him, and I'm actually going to read this part from the Bible. It says, the Father was filled with tender love for his son. He left his stuff, ran to his son, then he threw his arms around him and kissed him. So the son's on his way home, and instead of dad going, well, look who's wandering back into the house, instead of doing that, he goes, oh my gosh, it's my son, he's back, he's home. And he just hugs him. Now, I'm sure that when everybody heard this, they were very, very confused. But then Jesus put it together for them. And he said, the Father in my story, that's God. And the Son in the story, that's all of us. We all make mistakes. We're all doing these things: gossiping, lying, stealing, cheating, making fun of people, picking our nose, maybe, and physically hurting someone, maybe pushing them, shoving them, kicking them. We've all done these things. We've all made mistakes. Every single one of us. None of you can sit there and be like, not me. We've all done them. But God is going to welcome us back with open arms. He's going to be running towards us saying, oh my gosh, you're here, you're back. Now that doesn't mean that he's going to be like, don't even worry about it, it's totally cool, it never happened. What it does mean is he's going to say, I forgive you. And we're going to learn about how to do this correctly next time. But right now, I'm just so happy you're back. Everybody needs forgiveness. God is for every one of us, because every one of us do this. The religious leaders did that. We do it today. I do it. And everybody can everybody can have forgiveness from God. Now, how does it feel when somebody forgives you? Right? With me, it feels like a huge weight is torn off. When I do something wrong, I get like butterflies in my belly almost. Like not good butterflies, like ugly butterflies. I don't know if that's even a thing, an ugly butterfly, but my stomach starts hurting. I just start feeling really sick because I'm like, oh, I can't believe I did that. It's so terrible. And then when somebody tells me that they forgive me for it, when I ask for their forgiveness and they say, okay, I'll give you another chance, I just feel this weight lifted off me. How do you guys feel when somebody forgives you? And I'm asking you this because remember that feeling when you need to forgive somebody. Everybody needs forgiveness, not just us, but somebody who did something wrong to us needs forgiveness too. It's for everyone. All right, we're going to pray. I want you guys, though, to talk about forgiveness with your parents, with each other. And I want you to talk about, when has someone forgiven you? And then after that, right now, is there someone that you need to forgive? I think we asked that question last week, but I think it's a constant question that you need to be asking yourself, especially when we're talking about forgiveness, right? All right, let's all pray, and then we'll say goodbye until next week. All right, ready? God, we thank you so much for bringing us together through the internet. We love you so much, and we know that you love us so much, and it's an awesome opportunity that even when we're not in the same room together, that we get to praise you, we get to worship you, we get to learn about you and talk about you. And it doesn't even matter that we're not face to face, because we feel you. You are here with us. It doesn't matter if the building's closed, you're right in next to us. It doesn't matter that we're in our house worshiping you. You are right next to us. We thank you for always being there for us, for sending your son, Jesus, to forgive us so that when we do wrong things, we can be forgiven. We can have that weight lifted off of us and we can learn from it. And thank you so much for loving us. Please keep us safe, keep us healthy in this time and always. In your name we pray, everybody said, amen. All right, we will see you next week for Elevate, where we're going to actually continue the story of this prodigal son, the parable, because there's more to it. All right, until next week, stay safe. We really, really miss you guys so much. I'm going crazy without seeing you guys because I just really like interacting with you. So I'll see you through internet, and Miss Megan will see you next week. See you later!